What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hope your day is going pretty good. My day is going pretty good. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a video. Now, just here recently, I did a video about Bishop T.D. Jakes out of Dallas, Texas. And shout out to everybody in Dallas, Texas. Now, Bishop T.D. Jakes was bringing a sermon at his church. And the name of his church is called The Potter's House. And shout out to everybody at The Potter's House. So Bishop T.D. Jakes was bringing a sermon. And he was talking about, have you ever went to the hospital to encourage someone and they wound up encouraging you, and etc. And at the end of his sermon, and they said the sermon that he was bringing that Sunday lasted a long time, I believe an hour. So at the end of that sermon, he prayed and said this: Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. And he said, let him go in peace. And he dropped the mic and the towel and began shaking.
O Lord, my strength, my redeemer, let him go in peace.
And I said to myself, is this real or is this fake? What's going on? Because Bishop T.D. Jakes is an actor also. I know y'all seen this guy in movies and everything. So I was saying to myself, is this an act or what? And if it wasn't for that stool that he was sitting on, he probably could have fell backwards or even forward or even to the side. But that stool was keeping him up. And he dropped everything and he was sitting there for a long time. And I was saying to myself, is anyone going to go help this guy and see what is going on? What's going on? So after a while, some people came out of nowhere to come and help this man because this man looked like he was having some type of attack. And I understand why a lot of people say that was fake, because he was sitting there for a long time, shaking and shivering, and no one came to his rescue at all. So when Bishop T.D. Jakes got out of the hospital, he began to thank everybody and tell everybody how grateful he was for everybody checking up on him and sending text messages and etc. And he also said that he's not afraid to die, and he did not want to let his children down.
And it's good.
Here we are.
Grateful.
Hang tight, sir. You just waiting to get the key to open the car.
Okay. I'm grateful to y'all, all the people who prayed, all the people who texted, all the people who had prayer vigils, all the people who were concerned and sent love and sent notes. Just grateful. Thank you. Didn't have to turn out this way. Just grateful. Not afraid to die. Don't want to hurt my kids. And the people who love me, the church who needs me, the world who called me, the God who sent me. Sometimes you just gotta be grateful.
Now, when T.D. Jakes got out of the hospital, he filed a lawsuit against a guy by the name of Duane Youngblood, because Duane Youngblood has been circulating in the news lately because he said that T.D. Jakes tried to kiss him. But we'll get to that much deeper here into the story. But for now, let's talk about Duane Youngblood. Duane Youngblood is a registered sex offender. And you may be saying to yourself, this guy is supposed to be a pastor or a bishop. What's going on? I'm talking about Duane Youngblood. Now, the reason why he is a sex offender is because there was a sex act that happened on the inside of his church that happened with a young teenage boy. And he was registered as a sex offender and also arrested. Now, I will do a special video talking about Duane Youngblood after this video here. Y'all stay tuned. But this guy is a registered sex offender, and he's trying to come at Bishop T.D. Jakes. Let's get into it. Now, Duane Youngblood said that he knew Bishop T.D. Jakes through a friend. So, he was a friend. And it was supposed to be Bishop T.D. Jakes' birthday. So, he wanted to take Bishop T.D. Jakes out to eat. So, he did not have a car at the time. Now, remind, he was just a teenager, allegedly, back then when this happened. He had to borrow his mother's car to take Bishop T.D. Jakes out to eat. So he called his mother, and to make a long story short, he wound up getting his mother's car to take Bishop T.D. Jakes out to eat.
We befriended kind of close with Bishop Jakes. And we decided in one of the times he was there, it was going to be his birthday. I was able to convince my mother to let me drive her car as I didn't have a vehicle. I said, well, we're going to take him out to eat. I want to drive your car.
And Duane Youngblood was happy about taking Bishop T.D. Jakes out to eat because Bishop T.D. Jakes was killing the game. He said 18 or 19 years old. I'm not sure if he was 18 or 19 years old, Bishop T.D. Jakes was 18 to 19 years old. Now, he said that this happened 40 years ago. So y'all do the math. So he took Bishop T.D. Jakes out to eat. And when he took Bishop T.D. Jakes out to eat, he took Bishop T.D. Jakes back to the residence where he stayed at with a woman by the name of Sister Giles. So he stayed with her for however much time that he did. So Sister Giles was supposed to be a person that took care of Bishop T.D. Jakes when he came in town or when he came to a certain church. Anyway.
And it was decided after we were done taking him out to eat that I would be the person to take him back to his sleeping place, which at the time there was a lady named Sister Giles. She always wanted to house and take care of him when he came to that church.
And he went on the inside of their house, to make a long story short, to talk to Bishop T.D. Jakes. And him and Bishop T.D. Jakes talked at a table. And when he was talking to Bishop T.D. Jakes, he began to pour out to Bishop T.D. Jakes, cry, and he began to say to himself, someone finally gets it. Someone finally understands me. Someone finally understands what I am going through. That's what he said in that interview. So time went by. He looked at the time. I'm talking about Duane Youngblood. Duane Youngblood looked at the time and he realized some hours went by or some time went by. And he said to himself, man, my mother is going to kill me. I got to get this car back to my mother. So he realized that and he got up from the table and began to exit. While he was walking out, he said Bishop T.D. Jakes wrapped his arms around him and pulled him in and tried to kiss him.
For 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father. We talking about these scenarios, and I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it. Someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself. wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me.
He said Bishop T.D. Jakes tried to kiss him. He did not say Bishop T.D. Jakes kissed him or not. So now that part there did not make sense to me at all. So he said he did not know how he got out of that house and escaped and went to the car and went back home. And he said on the way home, thoughts was going through his head. He was trying to figure out and trying to process what just happened to him. So he went home and tried to lay down and tried to go to sleep and tried to process everything because allegedly Bishop T.D. Jakes tried to kiss him. So the next morning he got up and stepped into the bathroom. And his mother said, Duane, Elder Jakes is on the phone. So he went to the phone. And when he went to the phone, he said on the other end he heard Bishop T.D. Jakes in the tub. He heard water. And these are the three things that he said Bishop T.D. Jakes said to him when he got on the phone. He said, when I come to Pittsburgh, there are three things I want you to do. You're going to be the only person that I sleep with. That's number one. Number two, he said, you cannot sleep with anyone else because I do not want to give my wife anything. Number three, he said, I will take care of you for the rest of your life.
And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I get to sleep and get up in the morning. And in the morning, I step into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, Wayne, it's Elder Jakes. And I get on that phone. And when I get on that telephone, I can hear water. He is sitting in a bathtub. And in that thing, he says to me, without any hesitation, there's three things I need you to do. The first one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life.
And he said he cannot remember how he got off of the phone with T.D. Jakes. But so he said he do not remember how he got off of the phone with Bishop T.D. Jakes. And he said that he made up in his mind that he was not going to attend Bishop T.D. Jakes' church anymore. So I'm putting two and two together and realizing that this guy was probably a minor when Bishop T.D. Jakes allegedly did this to him. And I'm saying to myself, if Bishop T.D. Jakes was trying to pull him in and kiss him, and he did not get a chance to kiss him, why would Bishop T.D. Jakes get on the phone and tell him, you are the only person that I want to be sleeping with? Why would he say something like that if he did not get a chance to kiss him? So how in the world do y'all jump from not kissing to this dude calling you at your mother's house and he tells you, you are the only person that I want to sleep with? How? It does not make sense at all. So I don't understand this here. If Bishop T.D. Jakes tried to kiss you and he didn't get a chance to kiss you at all, so all of a sudden you go home, get some rest, get up the next morning, go to the restroom, etc., and the phone rings and Bishop T.D. Jakes is on the other end of the line, and the first thing he want to say to you is these things, and he also say that you are going to be the only person that I sleep with. If y'all have not touched or had sex at all, Why would Bishop T.D. Jakes be saying this to you, man? Why didn't you tell your mother? Why didn't you tell your father? Why didn't you tell anyone this? Why, 40 years later, you want to air this out? Why? It does not make sense at all. So I can understand why Bishop T.D. Jakes wants to sue this guy, because this guy can ruin Bishop T.D. Jakes' reputation. Bishop T.D. Jakes already has accusations about him out there already, about Diddy, about being a power bottom, whatever that means. I don't even want to know what that means. But he already has enough going on already. The man just got sick on stage while preaching to the congregation. Man, this is a mess. Now remember, Duane Youngblood is a sex offender. You cannot believe a lot of things of what this man is saying. You can't believe it. This man likes to touch on little boys. And how is he a pastor? Now, if this is true, that Bishop T.D. Jakes tried to sleep with this guy or tried to kiss this guy, Bishop T.D. Jakes needs to be dealt with. Now, if it is false, it will come to light. Everything that's done in the dark will come to the light. Remember that. Now, do you all remember the story about Bishop Eddie Long? To make a long story short, there was some young men saying that they had some relations with Bishop Eddie Long. And Bishop Eddie Long got up in front of his congregation and told everybody that that was a lie. And he denied all of those things that those young men were saying about him. So as time went by, Bishop Eddie Long went from looking like this to looking like this. So he was a big old buff looking dude at first, and he wound up looking like a skinny crackhead. So as time went by, Bishop Eddie Long began to get skinnier and skinnier. And he began to tell everybody that he was on an exercise plan and etc. So as time went by, Bishop Eddie Long wound up passing away. He wound up dying. So I don't know if those things that those young men were saying about him was true or not, but it seemed like it was true, because soon as Bishop Eddie Long got up in front of the congregation and said what he said, this man began to decline. And he wound up dying, as y'all can see right here in this picture here. So whatever is done in the dark will come to the light. We will know the truth behind this at the end of the day. Now remember, Youngblood, Duane Youngblood, is a sex offender. This guy is not innocent at all. Maybe this guy is just trying to ruin Bishop T.D. Jakes' reputation, because Bishop T.D. Jakes is a great motivational speaker. This guy can preach your socks off. Now, I don't go to church anymore. I used to be a person that go to church a lot, but I have seen a lot of stuff in the church that made me not want to go anymore. I follow God by my own instincts. I talk to God every day, and I got a relationship with him. I do not have to go to a church and listen to another man tell me anything about God, because the Lord is with you every single day, everywhere you go, whether you know that or not. God is not on the inside of a building. God is not on the inside of a pastor, and especially a crooked pastor. Y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about this here. This here is a straight mess. Don't make any sense at all to me. Until I see y'all in this video, y'all have a good one and y'all have a blessed one. Holla at you.